Goddamn.
Wow. Well, actually, wow is a very fitting word. Because
No.
the past couple of days have been pretty
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, a
Mhm.
definite wow for what's been going on in the landscape of WWE, the morale, I guess, in WWE, the morale amongst the fan base in WWE. It is man, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So if you guys have been living under a rock, the legend, R-Truth, our fucking Truth, was fired from WWE.
Mm.
Wow. Man. That is I think that is a nice glimpse into our future for WWE. I don't think, unless it's a guy like a Randy Orton or a John Cena, well, you know, guys like that. I know Cena's retiring, so obviously they won't really be able to release him. But the more and more time moves on, the more it looks like it'll only be guys of that stature that will have a job for life with WWE. WWE let go an absolute locker room veteran and somebody who was just a very enjoyable character on the show. Obviously, was he a main event caliber guy? Was he, going to be making a world title push within the next 6 months? Probably not. But the fact that they let him go, a guy who managed to last through all of the Vince eras, all of the Vince, or not the
Mhm.
Vince eras, all the Vince rounds of releases, got released. And that to me is crazy. That to me is absolutely crazy. And that to me is going to be another punch in the gut to what me and Sir K talk about with the eventual TKO way of things. I don't know how they started off so hot, yet they managed to, year after year, make more and more questionable decisions like this one. A guy who is a locker room leader, a guy who, it's funny to me how they fired him, but they kept like somebody like Natalia around because Natalia's kind of in the same role he was. Just a
Oh,
veteran
100%.
that is used more, I guess, in a way of helping people backstage rather than, being an in-ring character, and just a nice veteran presence to have in the locker room, somebody who's been there forever. They kept her, yet they let a guy like R-Truth go, man. Again, it is not it's not something that's obviously going to drastically fuck up television or anything like that, but I think just for morale, it is another hit. It is another hit that TKO is taking on the morale in their WWE takeover, man. That one sucked a little bit for sure. Just because, like I said, very enjoyable, gave us a lot of great moments, a lot of funny moments through the years, even recently. Had a lot of great moments, and he he gets released when his deal is up. He will not be renewed for a new contract. Um Sucks, man. Sucks. Gonna miss him and I wish him the best. But TKO bro. I don't know.
Okay. Truly, I don't know what TKO, man. They're so soulless, and they really just perpetuate fast food wrestling that I like to say, man. And it sucks, dude. It's a big hit to their morale. He was great backstage. Everyone loved him. Look at all the tweets from everybody on the roster. They were all upset at this, and justifiably so. That's their friend, and that's a leader to a lot of them. So it's what we say, dude. What we say that this another punch to the gut of TKO, and people are already upset with the week to week booking of your show. Now you're making decisions to make the morale go down. They're not doing themselves any favor, dude. It sucks. It really sucks. And I hope that they learn their lesson, man. But they won't, and I'm betting, man, this is keep gonna happening.
Yes, it is. I know, just to speculate, I know today it's been making the rounds on social media that the fucking Miz, removed all mention of WWE from his bios and all sorts of things like that. That's another one. A veteran guy who's been in WWE, was put through a lot of bullshit to become a star in WWE, has a very good, very cool story about how he made it in WWE, and that's what he gets. That's what he fucking gets. He gets released. Now, again, this is just speculation. This is just things that, a lot of fans have picked up on, but that is scary, man. That is very scary for the like I said, the veterans in WWE, and a lot of the guys that, again, maybe aren't as big as a Randy Orton or a John Cena, but they are great veterans and have done a lot in the business and have contributed a lot to a lot of different things, whether that be other people's development, their own moments, and that sort of things. They've contributed a lot, and they've done a lot for the company. That stuff with the Miz really shocked me, because when you talk about a company guy, I mean the to the bone, loyal to the soil kind of guy. It's the Miz, and that again, we don't know anything for sure yet, bro. But that especially shocked me. Just to even hear that, I immediately texted the group chat and just said, no fucking shot, no shot. They released the Miz. There's
There's no way. There's no way they can do that and not. That's just crazy.
Yeah. And our truth, man, our truth as well. He, again, maybe not as a loyal to the soil company guy as the Miz, but he is loyal to the soil in his own right. I don't know if anybody's as hardcore as the Miz. So that's not really saying much. I mean, legit, when you think a company guy, you fucking think of the Miz. But no,
Mm-hmm.
our truth was a company guy, again, loyal to the soil, was in WWE for all those years, man, and that's what he gets. That's what he fucking gets.
It's insane, dude. It's insane, and their mentality of older people not having value is gonna really bite them in the ass in the future, man. It is, because it's gonna give a lot of these people in the locker room a mentality of, well, I could either play it safe and get fired, or I could do what Karrion Cross did, and if I get fired, I get fired. If not, I get used. It's gonna bite themselves in the ass.
See, my thing is, you guys know I love to use my basketball references. This is one thing I loved about the NBA of 10 plus years ago compared to now. And I really think you started to see a glimpse of all that when Kevin Durant got traded to the when Kevin Durant left the the OKC Thunder to go to the Warriors. He called out how, and at least in my era, he was the first player that really put it out there that these organizations are not loyal to their players, yet people expect the players to be loyal to the organization. I feel back in the
Mhm.
day, you've seen a lot more of organizations being loyal to their players. You look at the Lakers almost trading Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean? But then they didn't. Then they didn't, because they were loyal to him. Dirk never stayed on the Mavericks all those years, 20 something years. And that was because the organization had loyalty to him, and he had loyalty to the organization. The more this starts
Mhm.
to pick up and the more this starts to continue, WWE is going to be very butthurt with the amount of people that decide not to be loyal to them because they are not loyal to
They're
anybody.
No, they're not loyal to the most loyal people in company history. Why would anybody be loyal to them? Why play it safe to keep your job or not piss anyone off? Might as well make the noise at that point if you're in the locker room. Might as well tweet what you're gonna say, and might as well try it because they're not gonna be loyal to you at the end of the day.
That's actually no 100%, man. And Gotti makes a great reference, probably the best reference you could get. He says our truth's release is like if the Heat released Udonis Haslem, if they just fucking waive the guy. He was there for all those years, 18 plus years, whatever. Can't remember exactly how long it was. I think it was around 18 something years, 20 something years, or he was up there. He was there. That's not only has that been the only team he played for, but he was there a lot of years, was there for all their championships. That would be like if they were just like, hey, see ya, man.
Just deuces.
And
Good luck.
and was he ever the best player on the floor? No, but the organization had loyalty to him. That's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
No more with TKO.
Nope.
No more.
It's gonna bite them in the ass, dude. And I hope it does.
It's going to bite them in the ass. And like I said, the more stuff like this happens, it is going to really put into perspective how disloyal or unloyal these organizations can be to their talent. So
Oh yeah.
it sucks, man. It sucks. And it sucks to see veterans, man, fucking veterans. I think R-Truth, I think they said he was there 17 years. 17 fucking years.
Gone.
And you
Just say goodbye instantly. That's insane, dude.
Yep, and they tell you will be released when your contract is up. Get out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. See, now R-Truth said he was released. That was a problem for a couple other, or maybe one specific wrestler in the community. Even R-Truth said, hey, I'm going to be released at the end of my contract. I'm going to be done. Funny.
And a certain bald guy couldn't say the same thing.
No,
but
he quit.
Can.
Quit, man. Real man.
Real man. Who talked about that guy since? But yeah, man, it really sucks with R-Truth, and not even Excalibur, exactly. I cannot wait to hear what he said. But this is gonna bite them in the ass, man, and I can't wait for it to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, it is. They're playing a dangerous game, bro. They are playing a dangerous game, and again, what a hit to morale. Look at all the tweets of heels, and I know we're not in kayfabe, but look at all the tweets of heels, like people who even play their character on social media, sad about R-Truth's release.
Yeah. Everyone was sad. Fucking Metro Boomin released a sad R-Truth tweet like an hour or two ago. I was like, bro, you TKO, man. TKO. They're gonna try it.
Yep. Crazy stuff, bro. Dude. To think of I never thought of Gotti says I stand here and have the rocks thrown at me over this opinion, but WWE fell off after Roman lost to Cody at Mania 40. If you look at things from that perspective, I could see where you could start to see the tables sort of tilt. If I were to think about a specific point, for me,
Damn. Trying to think. Me.
Might have been when Jay won the Rumble.
Yeah. That was kind of my moment.
I think that was the first time where I kind of was like really questioned what they were doing in terms of that. But I could see what you mean, where you know the tables maybe started to tilt in the other direction in in that sense. But yeah, honestly, I also think when WrestleMania 40 was all said and done, because I know a lot of people were not ecstatic about the build. When WrestleMania 40, because that was the one thing everybody was talking about, was like, oh, this build sucked, but the show's probably going to be crazy. When that show wasn't as good and there was a lot of underwhelming things about it, I think that was a punch to the gut of a lot of people. And it's not that the show was a bad
Mhm.
show by any means. I just think WWE underwhelmed on a lot of aspects on that show, and I think that was a huge punch to the gut for sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but it
It's
sucks.
tough.
It sucks to see.
Mhm.
And TKO, TKO is they they man, the more
Down
time
by the
goes
knee.
on, the more this looks like this might have been the fucking worst decision possible. Um,
Mhm.
however, however, what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing here today for this edition of Unscripted? This is episode 250 of Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. If this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted, and every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. And with that being said, if this is your first time watching, and you guys maybe want to catch the news from Friday, or if you're a listener and you missed the news from Friday, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Call Up Season. And SmackDown staying at 3 hours, and Mariah May being done with AEW after being removed from the roster page. You guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Friday at 30 p.m. Central for the news. Not to mention, if you guys do want to catch us with the post-show reviews, we are on directly after Money in the Bank this Saturday with the Money in the Bank post-show. So, with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now grab this beautiful piece of merchandise live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can get this beautiful piece of NHP merch live, like I said, on the merch shop. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video. And with that, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know who we are here at NHP. I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got the man himself. We got my man, Sir K. So, Sir K, if you would do us all a favor, please tell us what you're smiling about today.
Well, still can't do that, but overall, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out. I keep trying to say double or nothing, even though that already happened. It's Money in the Bank weekend,
There you go.
coming up this week, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited, even though not excited with some of the decisions made tonight, in preparation to the show. There is some certain stuff I'm really excited for on that show, man. So overall, I'm excited for the weekend, man, and excited for this week, man. It was a good weekend. It's gonna be a good week this week, and just chilling out, man. Been pretty normal lately, and just waiting for Money in the Bank, man. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. Man. Chilling, dude. Just chilling, man. Getting ready for Money in the Bank weekend. Big week ahead.
Hmm.
Family wise, personal wise, man, big week ahead. And then it all will culminate with Money in the Bank. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That is pretty much it. And yeah, just nothing too much. Getting ready for the NBA finals. We finally got our did we have them confirmed by Friday? We might have. But it will be Pacers and Thunder, so I am excited about that. Excited to see Excited to see the Thunder in a finals. Excited to see excited to see new faces in the finals, man. Shea, Tyrese, obviously Pascal Siakam's already been there. Chet Holmgren. I'm excited to see those guys in the finals. Excited to see some new faces in the finals. It's about time we start getting some new teams in there. I know everybody's complaining because it's not, your usual, your big superstar guys or your biggest names in NBA history. But no, I like seeing new faces in there. It's like getting some new faces in the main event scene every once in a while, man. Speaking of the NBA finals, crazy. I just seen before we went on here today. What would that be? Man, let me see. What was? I can't remember the number. I think that might have been 14 years ago. Let's see. Yes, today, 14 years ago today, Dirk brought the Mavericks back from he brought the Mavericks back from a pretty large deficit against the Heat. I can't remember exactly what the number was, but and then he hit his game-winning layup. And I remember watching that game. That final series is what got me into basketball. So that is what made me a big Dirk fan, and that is what's made me a lifelong Mavericks fan, even though that's very fucking hard to say in 2025. But I still remember watching that game. I still do remember watching that game. So that was pretty crazy. So shout out to Dirk, in my opinion, the greatest finals run of all time. Yeah, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome. That was an incredible game, incredible comeback from the Mavs. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. Love to see it. What else to go over? Man? Yeah, I think this is about it, bro. Just getting ready for Money in the Bank. Man, so Hunter says he's pissed off. He asked me how I am. When it comes to Karrion Kross, at this point, at this point, every time I see him in a backstage segment, I smile because I'm glad we see him. But at the same time, I fucking throw my arms in the air because I'm kind of used to it, I guess, at this point. The first couple weeks I was pretty pissed. The first couple weeks I was like, dude, I'm still saying get this fucking guy off of these backstage segments. At this point, man, I don't know what they're doing. I genuinely don't know what they're doing. I guess you can't get over on your own, or unless it fits their plans, you cannot get over on your own unless you are Jey Uso running around saying yeet. If it's not in their plans, I guess you don't get nothing. I guess you don't get nothing other than a backstage segment. When are they going to put this guy on television? I have no idea, and it is very frustrating. But at this point, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. It's just mind boggling to me. You have this guy, he gets huge pops every week. The fans love him. People want to see him. His merchandise sells, right? They're all worked up, got their panties in a bunch over money. Well, the guy has a top selling shirt, still doesn't get used. What the fuck are you waiting for? What are you waiting for exactly? I fucking my ass, dude. LA Knight is still waiting to get put in that main event scene, and it's been 2 years. He's still fighting the bloodline. He's still fighting them. A different version of them, but he's still fighting them. What the fuck?
Still fighting the bloodline, fucking Karrion Kross. Unless you're Samoan, you cannot get over on your own, or else you will not be used, no matter the regime. It's very unfortunate that certain things so persist in the company. Like getting over on your own apparently isn't a good thing for most people.
Get over on your own, have an opportunity to make the company a ton of money, they still don't use you. Oh, what the fuck? What are we doing, man? All the potential in the world, and nothing. Ridiculous. Well, speaking of ridiculous,
oh god,
bam.
Oh no.
AEW Dynamite. Woo!
Yay. The
Best part of the week.
Dynamite. God damn.
This episode of Dynamite was um
It, it was Dynamite.
it was the equivalent to me running up the court, going to dunk the ball. Somehow I missed the dunk and face plant right on the fucking wood, right on the wood planks. That was Dynamite. Easiest thing to pull off in the world. Your show coming out of a pay-per-view and somehow you face plant right on the fucking hardwood. What was this episode of Dynamite? There is so much. I can tell you right now, for the next hour, we're all going to have a great fucking laugh because there was so much funny shit on this show. I can't even begin to describe to you. But to start with the serious stuff.
The good thing, not the good stuff. There was
a good open, and then there also was a good close. We got a promo battle with Mercedes and Tony Storm. I don't really know how good you want to gauge that off of, because I know a lot of people just don't want to see Mercedes in that spot anyway. It was good nonetheless, even though, again, I am one of the people that don't want to see Mercedes in that spot, but
yeah. But I can recognize when people do good work.
For sure. The show opens up with Adam Page. He comes out for a promo. He says triumph in life is momentary. He says for the past 3 years, he lost sight of that. It's not the win or the loss, it is what you do with it that matters. He praises Ospreay for making him remember why he got into this business. He says any doubt that he has had of Ospreay being able to carry the company one day has been squashed. He says he will free, he says at All In, he will free the championship from the briefcase and hold it above his head once again. Swerve Strickland comes out. He plays the Young Bucks promo from the Dynamite After Dynasty, where they said, you know, we did it for you, Hangman. You're our friend, or whatever the hell they said. And he says he had the match against Jon Moxley won at Dynasty, and he needs to know, did you have something to do with it? He asks the Hangman. Hangman says, I locked my eyes on you when I went out there, and then I locked my eyes on Jon Moxley, and for one godforsaken second, I even thought about helping you. He says if I wanted to cost you the championship, I would have done it face to face myself because I've done it before. Swerve says, yeah, you have, but you're still full of shit. Ospreay comes out. Ospreay says to Strickland, he says, you know I hate getting involved in your business because you've looked after me ever since I was 20 years old, and I look at you like a big brother. But you are wrong about him. He shook my hand after Double or Nothing. I can see it in his eyes. He cares about this place. The same thing you did last year at Forbidden Door. You shook my hand. You picked me up. He says, I hate saying this because I love you, but it's not you. I thought it was me. It's not me. It's him. He says, people are believing in us again. I think that has a lot to do with TKO, but we still believe in you, Will. He says,
we're bad morale for one, but
he says, he says, people are believing in us again, and we have one shot. And we can make this easier on him if we all work together. Swerve, Will Ospreay, and Hangman Adam Page. Swerve gets pissed. He smacks the mic out of Ospreay's hand, and he says to him off mic, not him. I will never work with him. He then walks away. Will standing there. He walks up to Hangman, and Hangman says, "No, man, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not him." As they all get out of the ring and walk away. This was phenomenal. I seen Meltzer talking about
Nope.
the destination for All In could be Swerve versus Osprey. It is so obvious. First of all, Dave, I don't know where the hell you got that from. It is so obvious that it is going to be Swerve and Will versus the Young Bucks, and then Hangman versus Moxley. I don't know where you got that from, Dave, but I mean, I wouldn't be complaining if we got it, as long as they make sense out of it. But I think the thing that makes more sense at this point in time is to do Will and Swerve versus the Bucks at All In. I think that would be the best option. So, this is a great opening segment. It immediately put our focus on All In, and it immediately shifted our focus to the story that is going to be told with these three guys for the next month and a half. AEW has a really great opportunity here to do some really good stuff and tell a really good story with these three guys, or more specifically Will Ospreay, trying to get these two to work together to take down the Death Riders, which should be a pretty fucking awesome story. I can't, if done correctly.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Great ass open. And I like the story that they're building for All In with these guys, man. I like how Dynamite opened with straight up just what happened at the pay-per-view. Boom, Dynamite. We're getting the continuation of that. Rest of the show didn't do that same job, but overall that opener did. And I really like the story they're setting up with those two now willing to work together. Osprey trying to get them, and up until All In, it's going to be the journey of those two realizing, hey, we don't like each other, but we got to work together because we do like the same thing, i.e. AEW. It's a great story, and I hope they really play it well. I think they overall will. I trust all those three guys. I don't trust TK, but I trust those three guys. And if they continue to do that, what they did in that opener to Dynamite, I trust them for the story and All In.
For sure. So, this is, again, we talk about AEW and this being their time to step up. This is the time to lock in. You already have your fans invested because you are putting Swerve, Osprey, and Hangman in the ring. Those are three fan favorites. Those are three people that people love. You have an opportunity to tell a really good story and gain a lot of fans' trust back with the story and what should be the ending to the Death Riders. And I know it's been bad, and I know we've all wanted Jon Moxley to lose the championship. AEW, if they do it correctly, have an amazing opportunity to have people say at the end of this, I hated this reign and I wish it would have ended, but he kept it this long, and we got this story, so I'm okay with it.
Exactly.
If done correctly, I emphasize that. But they have they have a good opportunity here. And what do we see next? We see Jon Moxley in a match. So Adam Page was just out here saying he's coming for your championship. And you're in the next fucking match in a segment and no mention of Adam Page.
No, nothing. Just the person they booked the best on weekly television, the person they booked the best to look the best against the Death Riders so far was fucking Copeland. They did the best job to make him look like a threat and make, Death Riders nervous and all that shit. They did it for Adam Copeland, and he didn't mention fucking Hangman Page at all. Good Lord.
Nothing. No mention of him whatsoever.
Good Lord.
So, Claudio pulls up. Why was this guy driving with, his whole head out the window? Dude, what? Why do you have your whole head and your whole arm out the window? Who drives like that? What are you just taking
The-
wind to the face the
like,
whole way
can't
there?
see shit. Can't see nothing. I can't steer for shit. How do you drive like that?
He pulls up, hanging his
Looks like
head out the window, and what were you gonna say?
it looks like he's fucking. You know when like fucking parking lot is real fucking like congested, and you're trying to look out the window just make sure
Yeah,
you're not hitting nothing.
yeah,
That's how he was driving.
yeah.
He was driving like he was working.
Man. So he pulls up. Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Gabe Kidd get out of the truck bed, and they start and John Moxley walks up to the garage door of the arena, and he says, "Welcome to Dynamite." Mox, we just seen the opening
It
of
already
the show.
started.
You're late.
You're the second thing on the show. What do you mean, welcome to Dynamite? I've been here for like 25 minutes. Get in the fucking arena, dude.
So John Moxley is dressed in black jeans, and Gabe Kidd is dressed in black jeans. John Moxley is bald and has a beard. Gabe Kidd is
Okay.
bald and has a beard. You cannot tell me Gabe Kidd did not look like John Moxley's son in this match. He legit looked like a little John Moxley in the ring.
Moxley's son.
Kind of hilarious.
Come on, bro.
They face the formidable trio, the terrifying trio
Okay.
of Speedball Bailey, Willow, and Mark Briscoe.
Some of them fucking people they have lose the most in this company. The formidable trio.
Formidable. The Death Riders won. No Hangman after the match. No Swerve. No Osprey. No nothing.
Just weekly fucking the classic weekly Death Riders stuff where they come in, they beat the baby faces, and they leave. Good
I also
Lord.
I also love how a lot of people say, you know, what does Osprey have to do with the Death Riders? Why does Osprey want to take down the Death Riders? Do you guys not remember when he was feuding with the Don Callis family and he stated multiple times he wanted to go fight the Death Riders, but he couldn't get the Don Callis family off his ass?
Yeah, that was like do you not remember that? Like that was a big part of television at the time.
Okay. Gotta love it. The Hurt Syndicate. They have a vignette. Just saying they're going to be here next week. Next week, we're going to hear from the Hurt Syndicate. So, yeah.
Well, look at that. Look at that. I'd love to hear from you this week, but we'll get you next week, man. You'll be
Well, they
on
got 4 hours to kill next week. Can't blame them,
Exactly.
I guess.
Over the next 2 weeks, they have 8 hours of weekly television to get through. So we'll see how it goes on one night each.
Whew. So, the Hurt Syndicate, yes, like I said, they will be there next week. Ricochet. Ricochet is in the back. He says he sees all these groups around AEW. He says Ricochet needs one of his own. I just got to look around for the right crew to fit me. Way to make that abundantly obvious, but
Yeah.
not a bad pairing. I guess not a bad pairing. They're all, I guess, 3 annoying heels. They all kind of have funny voices, so that'll kind of be funny, I guess. But and they're all high flyers, so Tony Khan just marked out at that alone.
Oh man, they all can fly. Let's put it together. Yeah, very obvious fucking tease there. You could have played that a little less obvious, but I actually don't mind that idea of those two together. And the idea of Leo Rush with Ricochet is hilarious. So I'll see how it goes, man. I'll give that a chance. It'll be funny at the least.
For sure, for sure. Will it end up being a group that probably just falls into the underworld of AEW? Probably.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. They're already in it, so well,
yeah,
might as well just fucking get together in it.
yeah. I mean, Rick might as well lose to somebody, I guess. But, Ricochet, Ricochet is Ricochet, man. I mean, the guy is a pretty much bona fide loser. I mean, he beat Mark
Mhm.
Briscoe at a pay per view. I can't even necessarily call him a winner.
Next time you're gonna win.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's hardly a win. That's like 1/4 of a win if you beat Mark Briscoe. But they're gonna put him with Crew. I don't know if they're gonna help him win more. I wish Tony Khan would help Ricochet win a little bit more because in terms of his
Okay.
character, he has good building blocks as a heel to go off of. They got to have him win. They got to have him capitalize on it. You're gonna people are gonna lose interest if you just have the guy go out there and fucking lose all the time.
Exactly. I always use Bray as the example. Look what
Yep.
happened to him. It was always the most interesting part, but they always had him lose. So it got to a point where you just couldn't invest yourself too much because you knew you was just gonna lose at the end of the day. Ricochet is getting found in that same boat.
Yep. So Megan Bain and Penelope
Mhm.
Ford
Okay.
versus Anna Jay and Harley Cameron
Mm.
in a street fight. Megan Bain
Okay.
and Penelope Ford picked up the victory. Meanwhile, it looked like both Anna Jay and Harley Cameron, I don't know if they were just trying to build up Megan Bain. Harley looked like commentary mentioned she might have broken her nose. And Anna Jay looked like she kind of got knocked silly. She was kind of busted open a little bit. Um, I hope
Right.
they're okay. We haven't heard anything about them being injured since Wednesday. So I hope they are okay. But yeah, I mean that was that was
Mm.
the street fight that was very quite scary to watch.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. So yeah, hope they're all good from that.
The Ops, they face the Frat
Uh,
House. The this is what
The the frat house,
this is what we're
the
putting on
ops versus
television after Double or Nothing.
after double or nothing. You're putting the ops versus the frat house. Did you just did Tony Khan not read the run sheet for the show back and said, yeah, people aren't gonna care. People are gonna be like, yeah, this shit's dope. The frat house, dog.
The
Everyone
f-
knows them.
yeah.
These my boys.
The Frat House is Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, Preston Vance, and some guy, I think his name is something Jameson or Jameson something. I don't understand how he could be in the frat house when he looks like he's about 50 years old, but they come out there doing their shtick, and it is absolutely atrocious.
Oh yeah.
Preston Vance says, I guess the group's saying he says it in the face of each member of the ops. It is win or lose, we booze. And
So you're a bunch of drugs.
Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe headbutts him, and the ops defeat the frat house. Never, ever, ever put that on television again. Please.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
The frat house. If we lose, we booze. You know what? I'm gonna snooze if you fucking put them on television again.
Hey man, win or lose, we booze. There you
Eh,
go.
hey, fucking on TV or not, I fucking snooze. So don't put them on fucking television, please.
So the ops beat the frat house. Again, what in the world was that? Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter says she asked for some promo time. And she is very soon into her speech. And the lights go out.
Yep.
The lights come back on, and the camera is on the Trons. And a spider pops up. And then pops up the toxic spider, Thecla. AEW, good old AEW production. They go to the ring, and Jamie Hayter is just on the ground, and Thecla is just standing above her. And she already started the beat down. They fucked up the fucking debut. She does a couple moves on Jamie Hayter. Jamie just rolls out, and then and then she just started doing the Bray Wyatt like spider crawl. Excalibur says she was fired with cause from Stardom for attacking the president, so now she's here. You would think Tony Khan would want to stay away from people who are lunging at their boss.
I was gonna say he fired the last guy that did that actually. So I don't know if you want to go to if you would want to sign someone that does that again, but yeah, they botched her debut. They fucking panned to the fucking Tron, pan back. He's already standing there. Fucking Jamie Hayter's already down. Jamie Hayter's she's got to welcome her into the company with a loss. So it's just great job in the women's division, man. Just doing a great job here. Jamie Hayter could have been face to face to Tony Storm that same night. Instead, she's laid out by their newest debut because she's got to play welcoming committee, and people are wondering why Mariah May didn't stay with AEW.
Well said. Well fucking said. Not to mention, the whole time Excalibur is calling her Thecla. Her name has an H. Thek, not Tech. He's
Thecla.
He's Thecla. It was finally an AEW. And then he starts just naming off all of her nicknames at just the most rapid pace, and he just sounds like such a fucking dork. He's like, this is the Australian, or not Australian, this is the Austrian badass Thecla. She is the toxic spider. She is the idol killer. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, give me a nickname a week. Like, what? Are you just naming all... You're naming all her... He's naming all her nicknames. Meanwhile, he's fucking up her actual name. Thecla.
Fucking Thecla. Because you bought a new Thecla Model X, bruh. Because, what the fuck? Yeah, you know, she seems interesting. And I'm sure she's going to get the classic welcome to AEW women's treatment. She's going to come in.
Yep.
Probably, well, she's not facing champ, i.e., you know, Jamie Hayter. That's going to be her first win. And then she's going to go on to face a champion. She's going to lose. And then she's just going to find herself in the middle of the desert, essentially, in that women's division.
Yep. Like everybody else has.
Like everybody else, man. And because if you stay long enough in the AEW women's division, instead of being Thecla, or Tekla, as some will say, you'll end up being Jamie Hayter, the one to welcome these people in. So it doesn't look well for you, no matter what you're doing.
Jamie Hayter, man, I cannot wait till that deal is up there because she needs to go. She is not that big of a star to be playing gatekeeper wrestler right now.
No.
You should be focused on building her to get her to that star so she can then play gatekeeper. You should not have this woman be playing again. If you're going to have anybody play gatekeeper, then they at least should be a bona fide bulletproof star that no matter win or lose, people are still going to want to see them because the audience just loves them. Jamie needs to be built. Jamie Hayter in AEW is what fucking Finn Balor was to WWE coming back from his injury.
Oh yeah,
He
fucking
comes,
beast coming back.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
comes back. Everybody wants to see him win the title. There's all this fanfare around the Finn Balor return, and they never do anything with him.
Nope.
Jamie
And now
Hayter.
he's known as Finn Balor. Yep, Jamie Hayter too. Returned almost a year ago. And what has she done?
Jamie Hayter,
No.
again, comes back with all this fanfare. Everybody loves her. She's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal worker. Comes back. Everybody's like, man, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm. They got all this story, all this fanfare around these two women having a match and having a match for the title. They don't do it. Jamie just, I guess, never is gonna get the title back. So love to see it. Instead, she comes back and feuds with Saraya. Great.
Look where that all went.
And now she's playing Gatekeeper to Tekla.
Hecla.
Okay. That was that. I mean, you know, I'll give her a chance. See how she is. Formulate an opinion on her once I start to see her. Again, they got 4 hours to kill they got 8 hours to kill for the next 2 weeks. So we will be seeing her in-ring debut next week. But yeah, she is here in AEW, and hopefully she does good. Will she probably end up in the underworld with the rest of them? Yes, probably.
Probably. She'll probably end up in the underworld, man. But we'll see how it goes, and I'll give her the chance.
Yes, we then get a vignette for an up-and-coming fan favorite in AEW, Mystico.
I didn't know who you were gonna say. It was not Mystico. I was thinking one of Tony Khan's favorites, like Beast Mordos or Hologram or something. Did not expect that one. Did not expect that one.
I'm watching this fucking show, man. We get done with the Tekla debut,
Tekla.
and all the fucking sudden, I shit you not, these were words in this vignette. He is the most famous luchador of his generation. And I'm like, what they sign Rey Mysterio? I was like, did he get released too? And they're like, he is beloved worldwide and in Mexico and CMLL, and this is Excalibur running through this whole thing. Mystico. And I'm like, wait. Like, wait, what? Like, yes, we got a Mystico vignette on AEW Dynamite. And he is the most famous luchador of his generation.
Sure. Sure. I think I can name fucking Sin Cara is fucking more famous than this fucking dude.
Well, actually, isn't he Mystico? Or isn't he one of them?
He might have been one of them.
Yeah.
I always forget which. I know Sin Cara is employed over there. Is it Mystico? Was he Sin Cara?
Might be.
Oh, fuck. I always forget. He might be, man. So if he was, you know what? I might give him a chance if he was one of the Sin Caras, man. Even though the one that botched more was probably even bigger than him, but that's a story for another day. But
they are playing a vignette trying to sell us on a guy that we've seen in AEW about 12,000 times in the past couple of years. And they're trying to sell us him for God knows what reason.
Okay, he is Sin Cara. Okay. So take back my statement.
I don't think he's the OG one. I think he's the last one we've seen in WWE. Remember the one that beat Baron Corbin and they were going to do like a huge Sin Cara push because he got like a Puma deal, or they were trying to get him a deal with Puma, but then it never happened and then he got released? That one's Mystico, I believe. Because he still wears that mask. Remember, because he like took the IP and WWE tried to like cease and desist him?
I was gonna say, oh yeah, didn't he fucking go straight to the Indies as Sin Cara and get sued?
Yeah, he did.
Didn't
he did.
Fucking legendary, man. You know what? You know what? He's a legend. Let him come to Dynamite for one episode, and we'll never see him again. Um, that's hilarious, man. The biggest luchador of his generation, man.
Yep.
Let's get it, Sin Cara.
I guess he's coming to Dynamite after being stuck on Collision for with the rest of his luchador buddies, like Magnus and Velado Jr.
Uh,
and my boy
uh,
Mascarada Dorada.
That's what I was gonna ask about. Mascarada Dorada. Good. I mean, what are these luchadors, man? But it's coming to Dynamite.
I can't remember who the
So
OG Sin Cara is, like the original one. I can't remember who. I can't remember what. I can't remember what his name is. I remember they ended up having Hunico play him though, because the other one got fired, and then they brought in Mystico to play Sin Cara. So I don't know. Um.
oh,
So yeah, they're giving
mhm.
us again. They're giving us a vignette to somebody that we've already seen in AEW multiple times with the rest of his CMLL buddies. So.
Okay, yeah, Mystico is the original Sin Cara.
He's the OG one?
Yes, he's also the OG one
Really?
from 2011 to 2013. It was
Oh,
Sin Cara.
so who was the
So I
latest one?
uh
Maybe who played
latest
Sin Cara in 2018?
latest Sin oh god, Cinta de Oro?
Santa de Oral.
De Oro.
Oh, oh,
Cinta de Oro.
oh,
As of March 2024, it was him.
oh. Okay, okay. So,
Hmm.
Mystico is the OG Sin Cara then. All right, I fucks with him then. Well, I guess he's not Santa de Oral. Santa de Oral. Um, I guess
His
not.
last match was in April of last year in
Oh,
WWE. Wow, I do not remember him last year. Yeah, that
really?
was him.
Wait, the latest Sin Cara
Yeah, the
had a
latest
match
in
in
car.
WWE?
Yeah, I'm watching the video now. Holy shit. Or like a little compilation of it. Is it? Oh wait, no. This was uploaded in 2024. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna
Okay,
say
never
Sin
mind.
Cara's been out the company for like 5 years or something like
I was
that.
gonna say, what the fuck? Look at that. Look at that. Good old Sin Cara.
Maybe he was the
Mm,
OG. They replaced him with
big-
Hunico and then brought him back. I don't know. I thought there was
'cause
two Sin Caras, excluding
I know there
Hunico.
was. Because I'm guessing one of them was Hunico the one that botched the fucking whole lot.
No, Hunico was the better one because they had to get rid of the other one because
Oh,
he had a language barrier.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fucking
he
Sin Cara, bro. Why would they do
so
that with a luchador?
uh
There's like fucking 5 different people I fucking played
they literally could have been could have put anybody in the mask. So I don't know.
against.
Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, God.
This match, there was a very scary power bomb spot with Kyle Fletcher, um, apron power bombing Adam Cole onto um apron power bombing Adam Cole and almost missing the apron and smacking Adam Cole's head on the apron. We talked about it a little bit on Friday. Glad nobody got hurt. Again, I don't want to sit here and play armchair quarterback and call the shots and say how I would have, executed the move. I'm obviously not the one in the ring performing. And nobody likes an armchair quarterback. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. And I just hope AEW can learn from this and not take those kind of stupid steps again and having that sort of move that can go very wrong, especially with the back of Adam Cole's head, somebody who's had a history of head injuries. I definitely think they should stay away from spots like that with Adam Cole. So that's the only thing I hope that they can do moving forward.
Exactly, man. A miscalculation, a dumb moment, and it's as simple as don't try that with Adam Cole again.
Yeah. So Adam Cole goes for Boom And Josh Alexander runs in the ring and stops him to end the match in a DQ.
He bored Adam Cole to death, and he lost the match. No, wait, no, he attacked him. Never mind.
They commentary, there was a glitch in their headset to where Excalibur, you just hear Adam Cole. Oh man, AEW production.
Bro, who? Dude, I say it every time. I want to just be in their truck during an episode of AEW Dynamite just to see what they fucking do. Because there's no way they're actually paying attention to their screens the whole time. There's no way.
They have got to be playing on their phone or something. There's just no way. There's just
There's no
absolutely no
fucking
way.
way.
So that was funny. Brody King comes out to save Adam Cole. Okay.
Okay.
This then
Wait. That just clicked in my brain. I was not on.
they
Brody
said
King to save him?
yes, they said the Don Callis family and RPG Vice took out Strong and O'Reilly. So they weren't able to save him. So Brody King came out for the save.
Okay. Well, we'll just move on from that one. Okay. That dead ass dude. That was. I genuinely tuned out Dynamite for a second, and then I realized, wait, did he just say Brody King? And in my mind, I assumed, oh, he just said Roderick Strong or something, and no, Brody King. Good lord.
Well, we actually cannot move on from these two because this led to a Brody King and Josh Alexander match.
God help me.
Josh Alexander got busted open and packed up with a gonzo bomb by Brody King. Brody King beat Josh Alexander. Brody
That's how
fucking
you know
King.
dude is a loser.
The only thing worse than
their
that.
favorite losers.
Yeah, I was gonna say the the only thing worse than that would be Mark Briscoe beating you.
Okay, Tony Khan has a group of just favorite losers, man, and it's Brody King, Mark Briscoe, Ricochet, Jamie Hayter, and probably a few more in there, man. But good lord, Josh Alexander should have went to fucking NXT, dog. I that's all I could ever say with that man, and that's all he'll ever be for the next how many years he signed.
So he gets packed up to Brody King as Kyle Fletcher is in the back, and this is my favorite part of the night, man.
Okay, is this the moment?
This is the moment.
Telling
It's
me
all
about?
led up to this
Okay.
moment. Kyle Fletcher is in the back.
Okay.
He says, I do not need anyone's help, not even
Okay.
from the family. He says I would have beaten Cole on my own.
Okay.
Him and Michael Cole, or Jesus, him and Adam Cole get into a him and Adam Cole get into a brawl. Him and Adam Cole get into a brawl, and they're brawling. First things first, why was the fucking arena so dirty? There was dead ass dirt on the ground, and there was just it looked like they were setting up a fucking casket match or a buried alive match, and it looked like the most run down arena. We go
Holy
back
shit.
to the shot of the ring, and fucking Excalibur says there could be some fractures developing within the Adam Cole family. Oh man.
No man, not the Don Callis family, man, not the Paragon, the Adam Cole family. How you fuck that up? He's not even in this. In the Adam Cole family. And that's what he's in, man. You know, Kashna, fucking all these guys, dude, they're in the Adam Cole family.
He said it and and just completely went on about his business.
Oh yeah, didn't do it. Oh, sorry. No,
Oh,
nothing. Just straight up, just moved on
oh my
with the
god.
Adam Cole family.
Oh
Goated.
fuck, dude.
The
That
Adam
the
Cole family.
dude, he said it so fast, bro, and it was like so efficient. And he said it like so fast and so smooth. I legit had to go back like 3 times, and I was fucking dying, dude. They
There's friction between the Adam Cole family.
there could be some fractures developing within the Adam Cole family.
The Adam Cole family. Good Lord, dude. That's what I'm gonna call the Paragon now. They're not the Paragon. They're not the Undisputed. They are the Adam Cole family, and Kyle Fletcher's in it.
Oh
Good
fuck,
Lord.
man. Every
Get that
time
man out of here, bro.
I see the Don Callis family, now all I'm gonna think about is the fucking Adam Cole family.
The Adam Cole family. The Adam family. Good Lord, that's hilarious.
Thank you, Excalibur. Thank you.
Yeah. He always comes through.
Oh my god. That took me out, bro. When I tell you I fell out laughing listening to that, bro. I mean, I legit said, "What the fuck did he just say? Did he just say the Adam Cole family?"
The Adam Cole family. Good Lord.
Oh, come on, man. So,
Oh, Logan, they meant the Don Callis family. It's hilarious. Good.
oh man. Are the Paragon teasing a breakup already?
Good Lord.
LOL. Well, looks like the Adam Cole family won't be lasting too long.
Maybe there is fucking friction in the Adam Cole family.
Greatest to ever do it, bro. X fucking caliber.
He is. He really is the GOAT, man. He really is. Who he puts everybody. Michael Cole, who? Fucking Morrow, who? You got fucking Excalibur.
The Adam Cole family, bro. The Adam Cole
Not the
family.
Don Callis.
RPG Vice. Lance Archer.
RP.
Josh Alexander. Kanosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. The Adam Cole family.
The Adam Cole family. That's what they are. A lot of friction, a lot of fractures in the Adam Cole family. In the Adam Cole family.
We get to the main event segment, bro. Proud of AEW. They actually ended the show with a promo segment.
That's nice. Look at that.
I do got to say, I love the importance Tony has put on the Owen this year. I got to say that.
It really did feel like the important thing to lead up to your moment. They really are playing it up as in a way their Royal Rumble to their biggest show. I like that.
For sure. So, Mercedes comes out first. She talks about winning the Owen. She says legends like Owen Hart and her hero, Eddie Guerrero, do not even compare to her. And that's why she is the CEO. Tony Storm comes out then. Monet says, we have finally met. She says, these fans are tired of the black and white and want a champion full of color. I will stick with the black and white, if that means Tony Storm. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cool line. I'll stick with black and white, man.
Yes. Tony says, you've been here, she says, you have been here for a while. And you have remained undefeated. And in that whole time, you've never spoke to me. You even told Anthony Khan this was the one match you wanted. So why did it take you so long? Mercedes says, patience, darling, patience. Do you think I'm going to be going around backstage shaking anyone's hand when I am the Beyonce of women's wrestling? Tony says, well, I'm the Tony Storm of professional wrestling, and I swear to an unknown God, you've never met anyone like me. That was pretty tough.
Tough as hell.
Mercedes says, yes, that shy girl that I met 10 years ago, you are very different. But I'm different too. I'm not a boss anymore. I'm a CEO. And at All in Texas, I'm bringing it home, and we will have the greatest women's match of all time. Didn't they say this last year with Britt?
They did. I think they're probably gonna say that every fucking year. But they repeat the line, man. They repeat the line.
So, Tony says, we have a lot of similarities. We started very young. We struggled on the indies. We found success. We were given trophies, flowers. But that wasn't enough. We left it all behind to follow our hearts. And in AEW, we became who we are truly meant to be. But there's one glaring difference. All you want is all those titles. I only need one of them. I've lived, cried, bled, and died for this. So if you want to ride the money train through the Tony Tunnel, I hope you can get deep enough. Wow. Mercedes says, even your hips aren't wide enough for the money train. Tony says, in 45 days, we will meet again in Texas. And somewhere in the world, a little girl with big dreams will be watching, and she will say, holy shit, these bitches are crazy. And then she will find out who the better woman is. She says, I sincerely believe you are the greatest of all time. But unfortunately for you, I happen to be timeless.
Oh.
Mercedes says, you may be timeless, but all you deserve is for your time to come to an end. They both say they will see each other in Texas. Monet goes to hit her finisher. Tony gets out of it, goes to hit her finisher. Monet gets out of it, rolls out of the ring. I gotta say, this segment was fucking awesome. All of their, just like jabs at each other, the whole greatest of all time, but I'm timeless thing, and just all those cool little wordplay they added to this. I loved it, man. I really hope these two kill it, because Tony has some of the best matches in AEW women's history, with Jamie Hayter at Full Gear 2023 and Mariah May. Honestly, probably my favorite women's match in AEW history this year against Mariah May from Revolution. So unless I'm drastically forgetting one, but there's been a lot of good ones. But Tony's name is all fucking over that list. And I really hope she's able to kill it and possibly bring Mercedes to her best match. I've said it, a lot of people like to throw Mercedes' name in the best women's performers in the world. For me, in the world today, it's Tony Storm. It's close between Tony Storm and Io Sky, but Tony,
exactly.
Tony's got it all, man. I mean, legit, like oozing star power, can work her ass off in the ring. She's a stud.
She truly is, man. She truly is. And then they ended Dynamite great with that segment, dude. I really liked it. Obviously, I would not have went with Mercedes, but it's what they went with. And from what we're getting, it's going to be good. They seem to have really good chemistry on the mic with each other. And I hope they have that same chemistry in the ring, dude. I really hope so.
For sure. For sure. So that was Dynamite. There was the beginning. And there was the end. Everything else in between was it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Minus the Adam Cole family and the Mystico debut, where he is the most famous luchador of a generation. It was pretty bad, man. It was pretty bad, if I do say so myself. But yeah, again, nice open, nice close. That was it.
Exactly. At least they had two things, and at least they followed the Owen very well
Yeah.
in that episode of Dynamite. The rest of the show was just fucking dynamite,
Yep.
in its worst form. But the start and the end were really good, man. I'm glad they were able to cap off the Owen very well.
100%. Yes, and I do love the importance that they've put onto the Owen this year. Been very nice.
Most definitely. Very nice.
So we do have an official word from the official sponsor of Notorious Heels, W. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourself 10% on your next W purchase.
Really, always got to shout out W, whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for. I know what I'm going to need energy for. 4 hours of dynamite this week and next week, man. So if you're like me and you need to stay up during those and you don't want the jitters, try W because it will taste good all at the same time.
Yes, sir. As always, shout out to the official sponsor of the Notorious Heels, W Energy.
Always.
SmackDown. Well, for starters, this was the last time we seen R-Truth. He was in a match against JC Mateo. JC finally wore red to fit the theme of the bloodline.
Look at that, man. Look at that.
Cody Rhodes is back. He's back on SmackDown. He comes out, he says he reflected a lot on WrestleMania. He thought about if he was a good champion. He thought about the offer from the final boss. And get this, and how no matter how much I deny it, the offer always stands.
What?
Huh? You just mean to slide that in there?
You need to slide that it's still on the table, even though the whole thing was a setup in the first place for Cena. When you established that on television, that The Rock knew the whole time that Cody wasn't gonna take the spot, and he used it as a setup. That was the kayfabe reason that they did that, but it's still on the table. All right. All right, dude. Just stop
okay.
it from The Rock.
Dude, that's what I was just going to say, bro. Just stop. Honestly, just stop. We know he's filming shit. He just got announced for some psychological thriller. We know he's doing the Scorsese movie next year. Just stop. Just can they help themselves? Honestly, why would you go and say something like that to and you know, people with a brain have learned their lesson from this year. Don't get excited about this. And if you are excited about this, I'm sorry, and I hate to tell you this. Please don't be excited. You are going to get disappointed. This is going to be like every other thing else that The Rock has done. Remember when The Rock was a damn near full-fledged member of the Bloodline? What the fuck happened to that? He comes back.
Yeah,
he says he's going to go for Cody. Doesn't go for Cody. Does the whole soul thing. Never follows up on that. Fucking damn near puts a huge blemish on John Cena's last year. Which, it's not completely his fault, I will say, because it was Triple H's idea to turn Cena heel. But, dude, he definitely had a part in it. And now this. Now, I mean, really? Really? No matter how much I deny it, the offer always stands. Just stop. It's never going to go anywhere. Just let the man be a director of the board. He's not showing up, and if he does show up, he's gonna show up, start some shit, and we're never gonna get a fucking payoff for it. Try pulling that shit in Hollywood, bro. I mean, come on.
Exactly. You had Cody go out there and say that, So the next time Cody looks a little angry or he snaps off a little bit, people are going, oh, is he going to go take the rocks off her? No, he's never going to take the rocks off her because the rock isn't here. He doesn't care. So why would you bring it up? Because now it's all people are going to think about with Cody. Oh, is he finally going to take the offer? No, it's never going to happen. And you have to learn that right now.
I mean, again, man, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know, I know we all had a blast with it. It was a great
It was
time.
great.
It was a great
Mm-hmm.
time. He was a great addition to television. The final boss, it was an awesome character. It was an awesome character. It was a great way for The Rock to, you know, get familiar with a little bit of the younger audience and give them a character that they can remember. Out of all the versions of The Rock that I've seen, that was probably my favorite version of Rock as well. But at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, if you're going to show up periodically, and at the end of the day, especially if you're going to continuously come back and never give us a payoff, I'm sorry, but I just don't care. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
And again, you have Cody Rhodes go out here and say something like this. You have to know that's just going to get your fans excited. The fans that are excited about that or did find a little bit of, you know, something to be excited about with that line, all you're doing is setting them up for something that is inevitably probably never going to happen. And if they do start it, he's probably not even going to be around to finish it. So who
Nope.
cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, if you are excited, you know, I can't completely blame you. You know, if you were excited about the final boss that we got build up to WrestleMania 40, but at the end of the day, he did WrestleMania 40 because there was some big money involved for him because he was fresh joining the company. He's probably not doing a WrestleMania until he wants to hang it up at this point.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and I don't think it's going to be anytime soon because it's The Rock. He's going to want to pop in every here and now for his little, at this point, useless appearances. So, yeah, we won't see him in a match again. So I don't know what they're trying to hype fans up for.
Yeah. And if we do get him back, fully anticipate nothing to correlate to what the last thing that happened with him was on television.
Exactly.
So, Cody says he has a surprise for the fans of Knoxville, and he brings out Jey Uso. Him and Jay are out there. Before Jay can say anything, John Cena comes out there, and John says, all I see in the ring are a couple of John Cena wannabes. He says, Cody, you want my fame, and you, points at Jay, you want my money. And neither of you will get any of it because you're too desperate, points at Cody. He points at Jay, says, and you're too lazy. The only person in WWE that embodies hustle, loyalty, and respect is Logan Paul. Let's stop right there. The look on John Cena's face, I cannot buy that John Cena believes any fucking thing that is coming out of his mouth. That is one of the biggest problems with this farewell tour. That is one of the absolute biggest problems of this farewell tour. You mean to tell me John Cena is on the microphone? He says the only person that embodies hustle, loyalty, respect is Logan Paul. You can just look at his face and you can just tell he does not believe an ounce of what he is saying.
No, exactly, and that was the cool part, that it was right after the heel turn, is he was on TV, and he was an interesting heel character because it made sense to his character. It was justified. You could look in eyes of John Cena and be like, okay, you know what? That makes sense. After those first, like, 3, 4 weeks, dude, downhill, but with the reasonings and the little things he does, it completely lost consistency, and it's unbelievable, the half of the stuff that he's doing. It's obvious it's some heel character, and
Yep.
John Cena was always the line of, is this real or is this just a character? And now with this heel character, you could tell it's literally just a character.
Yeah. And that is very frustrating. That is very frustrating to
Mhm.
see, because this is his last year, and there are a lot of there are a lot of other things that just don't make sense with this John Cena heel turn. He talks about how the fans will get nothing, yet they come out with a new T-shirt every week on WWE Shop, depending on what city he's going to go to. So the fans do get something,
Mhm.
which I like that they're still releasing the shirts. But again, his heel character told us the fans were going to get nothing, and again, it just feels too much like a character at this point. Again,
Mhm.
the first couple weeks it was fresh and you could tell, obviously we know he loves the fans, but you could tell he was just airing some grievances. Lately it
Yeah.
has, just like you said, just been feeling like a character. It's just been feeling like
It's
a
it's
character, and just he's been just saying outlandish shit. That his stuff against Randy was good because it was more directed towards Randy. But again, when you say stuff like that, you could just look at Cena's face and you can quite literally just tell he does not believe an ounce of what he's saying.
No, exactly. It's literally unbelievable to the guy that's saying it, dude. So yeah, I don't know where they're going with this, dude. I really don't. I don't know what they think they're accomplishing with this.
I don't either. I don't either. Logan Paul comes out. They just start talking trash to the baby faces. Logan just starts talking about how he's going to be the world champion one day. They're going to beat him at Money in the Bank. Cena and Logan go or they Logan goes to square up with the baby faces. Cena says fuck it. He wants to leave. Logan Paul kind of shoves him and he says, "John, where are you going?" And you could tell they're kind of arguing a little bit. Cody gets on the mic and he says, what are you two arguing about? Are you going to take him in the back, Logan, and polish his peacemaker?" Um,
You, 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 okay?
maybe we're going to
Yeah,
be seeing the Logan Paul family soon.
yeah, maybe, man. Maybe he does have his little fucking reality TV show, so maybe we see Cena on, and maybe, hey, I don't know what they're gonna be doing.
So, then a brawl breaks out, and that was it. Again, just odd. Why is this match happening? Why are Cena and Logan Paul together? Why? Why? Just why?
It
Um,
just getting
it.
shit like this just makes me think, man, like we could have had a Gunther match. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just disappointing.
So this is John Cena's last year. This is the last Money in the Bank
Teaming with Logan Paul.
against Cody Rhodes and Jay Uso. Javon Evans is on SmackDown. He's teaming with Ray Phoenix, and they're going up against Los Garza. They actually
hmm
lose to Los Garza because Ethan Page also made a little main roster cameo here, as um beat he beat up, I think, both of them while the ref was had his back turned. He threw Ray Phoenix over the announce table, and I think he swept Javon off the apron, and they hit their Los Garza hit their finisher on Javon Evans for the victory before their match on Worlds Collide. It's Ethan Page versus Ray Phoenix versus Javon Evans versus one of the guys from AAA. So it was
Yeah.
nice to see Javon on the main roster. He looked good. He looked good up there, man. So yeah,
He
I
does. He
thought
looks
he
good.
thought he looked
Mhm.
good.
Exactly. I liked his little appearance. I love when they do those little glimpses of NXT on the main roster. They're fun to occasionally get, and I like what we got there.
Yes. So Andrade and Naomi are the last SmackDown names to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match for each of their respective ladder matches. So
Hmm.
you got LA, Solo, Rollins. What was it? Damn. What's it?
And so,
Penta's in the back. Here, let me go. Let me save myself some time here.
LA.
Here we go. Okay, here we are. So we got so far up until this point, we got Solo, Rollins, Penta, Knight, and Andrade. No Jacob Fatu. No
No,
Jacob
he
Fatu.
didn't make the match.
Yes, I believe Solo distracted him in their match. I
I
think.
think that, yeah, I think he accidentally did.
And then, like I said, Naomi qualifies, so she is added to the field with, so it'll be Naomi, Julia, Alexa, Roxanne, and Rhea Ripley up until this point. So obviously,
Mhm.
by the time SmackDown came around, we had only two more names
Just
to be
too low.
decided just from the Raw side, of things. Um, to be quite honest, man, I did not even think about Naomi. Naomi would be a great winner if you look at the field. Now, obviously, you can look at a couple other names. We'll get to that when we actually talk about both fields. Naomi
Hmm.
would actually be a pretty good pick to win that ladder match. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, for the women, I think she's probably the one I would say the most overall. There's the younger people that they have in the match where you could, you know, take that momentum, skyrocket them, which would be dope. But I think Naomi might be your my best option, at least right now.
Yeah. All the tag teams are out there again, and they all get attacked by the Wyatt Six again.
Mhm.
So pretty much the same segment they did last week. Instead of it being a match, they got involved in a promo segment with all the tag teams and laid all of them out. So
So
Wyatt Six.
hopefully, at 6, man. And hopefully something happens.
I hope so. I hope so. I really hope so, man.
God, I hope so. I doubt it.
Yeah, me too. So that's everything for SmackDown. That is everything for SmackDown. Again, pretty basic episode of SmackDown, all that in a 3-hour show, so you can imagine there's a lot of fluff on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
If something does end up happening to The Miz, what is going to happen to Mello Don't Miz? Will they
If
have
Mello
Mized?
don't like, dude, if Mello don't is the Miz's last run, that'll be fucking wild. That'll be wild, bruh.
Great way to go out.
God damn. Yeah.
Greatest tag
Mello
team of all
don't
time.
miss.
Yes, sir.
And yeah,
They will
god damn.
probably go down as one of the greatest tag teams to never win gold. Is
Yeah,
Mello Don't Miz.
they don't miss,
Ozzy.
bruh. Let's get Mike Mizanin. Hashtag all elite.
Oh God. I can't even
Well, that would
imagine
actually be hilarious.
Miz. I can't even imagine him doing anything but WWE. I really can't.
Oh no. I really can't. I feel like if he is out, I feel like he would just call the business a day.
Yeah, I think he would retire. I think he's up
Yeah,
there in age. I don't think he
exactly.
would see the point in keep wrestling if it's not in
No.
WWE. So
I'm sure he has his, other life financial set, so I'm sure he would just retire like you said.
for sure. So Monday Night Raw. This is your June 2nd edition of Raw from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cole lost the bet. He did an episode of Monday Night Raw wearing an Indiana Pacers jersey for TJ McConnell.
Hilarious.
Great.
I gotta say, man, he got some muscle. I'll give it to him.
He does. Yeah, he does. He's in pretty good shape, man. Dude, when he sat down and Pat goes, "Ah, you look like an asshole." Dude,
That shit was hilarious, bro.
yeah, that chuckle I got a chuckle out of me for sure. For sure. So, the open of the show was CM Punk. CM Punk. Well, actually, going back to commentary, man, that was actually one of my favorite parts about the show tonight, was just that little brief interaction in the beginning of the show. Cuz it just in a time where I don't know, maybe WWE feels a little too much of a machine, especially now.
They were
That was a nice sense of like reality, I guess, or that was a nice
exact.
sense of just you know, that was a nice sense of just that was a bit of that was a glimpse into like the family owned company aspect of it.
It does, dude. It does. Which is so funny because under the family-owned thing, commentary was one of the things that Vince was so like robotic about.
Yep.
But this very robotic-esque takeover, one of the things that shines through, like you mentioned today, is those two on commentary. Their friendship and them joking with each other here and there, and then fucking making a bet that we see live on television. It really is just if you feel like you're watching humans in a show that where sometimes you don't feel like you're watching humans, and that's really fucking nice to see.
Yeah, it is. So, CM Punk opens the show. He talks about winning Money in the Bank. He says if he wins, there is 2 champions he can go after. And it is the summer of Punk again. Or it could be the summer of Punk again. And maybe it's time for him to become champion one last time. He says if he goes after Jay, he says, I want you to know, my friend, it's not personal. It's just business. The other guy is a guy I have history with. John Cena. He used to be beloved in arenas just like this one, but now he is public enemy number 1 because he sold his soul to a bald fraud goof. And if I choose you, just know I still got your number, and I'm gonna come pick the bones, you little bitch. Definitely a glimpse into the future. Again, not sure why we were mentioning him selling his soul to a bald fraud when the bald fraud never came back ever again. He took a soul and left.
He took a soul. John Cena came on television the weeks leading up, basically never mentioned the fact that he sold his soul, and you have other people mentioning he sold his soul. So please, again, drop fucking mention of The Rock for the love of God. But overall, I do love hearing that teasing glimpse in CM Punk, and not only the world title scene, but you know, Cena.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, Sami Zayn comes out. CM Punk was getting ready to wrap his segment up and leave, but Sami Zayn had other ideas. Sami comes out and he tells Punk, you have to win your match tonight. You have to get into Money in the Bank. He said, I thought that would be my route to the World Championship, but I have to wait for another time. But it could be your route. He says you need to stop Seth Rollins from winning the briefcase because if he wins, this place is going to become unrecognizable. Sami, we are getting there. Just look at the ticket prices. He says...
Very unrecognizable.
He says, if it means anything to you, I want you to win this match. He says he says to Punk, if you win the briefcase and win the world title, we will be face to face again in this ring. And we will be having a very different conversation next time. They shake each other's hands and go each other's separate ways. This is a great open to the show. I like this. Obviously, like I said, it did put focus on, you know, the main event for the show, and it gave importance to, and it gave stakes to Punk winning the match. So I liked it.
Exactly. I like what they did. It gave, you know, Raw a little overarching story tonight. And I like those two interacting with each other. I like what it did for most of the episode.
See, I'm just wondering,
Mm-hmm.
with Sammy, Punk not being on the card for Money in the Bank, Rollins is the only one in the ladder match.
Okay.
Are they going to come out then? Or are they going to come out, per se, if Seth Rollins tries to cash in his briefcase, say he wins it, at the end of the night, and form some sort of Avengers to go up against Rollins' group, and it's Sammy, Punk, Jay, Cody, Roman, and that's... Don't be shocked if that ends up being your War Games team against Rollins, Breakker, Reed, Cena, and fucking... I hope they wouldn't be dumb enough to do Logan Paul, but
Yeah.
somebody else,
I
maybe they'll
wouldn't
get
be
a fourth
shocked.
by then. Maybe
I
they'll
would
get a...
hope they get a fourth then.
Me too. But I wouldn't I would not put it past. I don't know how they're going to be able to drag that out till November, but that's their problem, not mine. I don't know if they can do that though. I think that would probably get rather stale rather quickly. But as for this, yeah, just very interesting to me, like I said, because with all of these guys not being on television, or sorry, with both of those guys, Sammy and Punk, not being on Money in the Bank, you would have to be a fool to think, you know, it's in LA, it's in the Intuit Dome, it's Money in the Bank. You would have to be a little bit of a fool to think that they aren't gonna be there.
No, exactly. And like you said, I hope it's to cost him the Money in the Bank briefcase in the ladder match. But I really wouldn't doubt it if, you know, they don't see value in Money in the Bank and they drop it in the same night, which is beyond wild to me, but I really wouldn't be shocked, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we do not get a match, but we do get a Judgment Day segment.
No way.
Yes, way. It's Liv Morgan. She's in the back, and Roxanne is asking her, "What can I do to help you?" Liv tells Roxanne, "Stay away from my matches. That's what you can do to help me. Stay away. I do not need your help." She says goodbye to Raquel. She walks away, and in the fakest acting I've ever seen in my life, you can see Raquel throw her hands up as if she's like yelling at Roxanne, even though there wasn't really anything to yell at her about. She hadn't done anything crazy in the night. She throws her hands up like, "What the hell?" And she didn't. You could just look at her. No words came out of her mouth. She just got in Roxanne's face and threw her hands in the air. What are you
I
doing?
was gonna say, they literally just had her fucking throw her hands up and like point her tag title in her face as Liv walked away. And another thing, as Liv walked away, you could see those two walking away together. So I wonder what that fucking teases. God, they're actually gonna do it, dude.
Yep. They're
Oh
gonna,
my god.
especially
From
with,
what happened later in the night.
Yep. They are
Oh my
going to
god, they're
turn
gonna
Liv and Dom babyface. LOL.
that's not even the killer for me. Like, it's dumb, but it is what it is. They're gonna keep the Judgment Day alive and Finn
Yep.
Balor in the Judgment Day. That's the killer to me, dog.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, Lord, dude, they're doing it again.
We talk about, you know, I complained when AEW turned Swerve into a babyface because I didn't think his character was at the point yet where he should start feeling, remorse or start feeling any sort of. Dominic is still the champion. Why would
Yeah.
he turn babyface right now? What in his character, other than crowd reactions, would make him turn his morals around?
Like, it makes no sense for him to be a babyface. None whatsoever, dude. He got everything he wanted by being, a cheating asshole. That's how he is where he is now. Why would he change?
It is for sure not the time for Dominic Mysterio to become a babyface, yet Finn Balor stay a heel and in the Judgment Day.
Good Lord.
Liv walks around the corner. She runs into Io and tells her she is going to win her title back after winning Money in the Bank. As she goes to qualify, she has a match against Ivy Nile and Stephanie Vaquer in a women's qualifier match, which seen Liv Morgan get no help from anybody. She hit I want to say she hit an Oblivion on Stephanie. She hit an Oblivion on Stephanie. Ivy got her out of the ring, went to pin Stephanie. Stephanie kicked out, and then hit Ivy with an SVB. And Stephanie Vaquer is in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So now you are looking at a field of Naomi, Rhea, Julia, Alexa, and Roxanne. So there's a couple things WWE can do here.
Mm-hmm.
You have Roxanne as an option, which I don't see happening at this point. I
No.
honestly see something like Liv costing her the same way, or Liv trying to help her, but it ends up costing her the same way, what's been happening to her the past couple weeks. They could go with somebody like Naomi, who would be a great option. Or do not be shocked if WWE were to put this briefcase on Stephanie Vaquer, because you could tell that they love her a lot.
Dude.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to mention, dude, the presentation tonight
Oh.
with Stephanie Vaquer. Holy shit. Not only did she, actually get a full entrance, but right before her full entrance, she got a whole little, basically, welcome to the main roster video package, hyping her up, and then she has her entrance, which she actually has a good Death Rebel theme. How many people can say that? She's getting shot to the moon, so I really wouldn't be shocked if she won, too.
I would not either. I would not either, because they had her face off with Rhea Ripley in a backstage segment here tonight. You can tell they're just dying to get her up there. And remember the reports. Don't be shocked if we see Io and Vaquer very soon. Do not be shocked.
I wouldn't.
If Vaquer now, I wouldn't assume Stephanie to do the cash in. I could see Stephanie doing an announced cash in for Evolution, and I could see that being the Evolution main event, Vaquer versus Io Sky. If they wanted to do it that soon, I could absolutely see them doing that.
Exactly. I could definitely see that. I could see some variation of that. And her interaction later in the night with Rhea Ripley is very interesting because, a lot of people are saying, well, that's probably their WrestleMania match is Stephanie Vaquer versus Rhea Ripley. And that'll be fucking insane, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, that will be pretty awesome, man. But you could tell, like I said, just by that segment with Rhea, and like you mentioned, the way they presented her with the entrance and the vignette, you could tell they are foaming. Yep, you could tell they are foaming at the mouth to put her in that main event scene. So I wouldn't be shocked.
They really are. They went all out with her, man, and you could tell. And she's definitely basically already slaughtered in that women's main event scene. And I really wouldn't be shocked if she won the Money in the Bank briefcase. Either way, the women's field for the Money in the Bank briefcase looks phenomenal. No slackers in the match. I'll give them that, dude. And I'm actually really excited for their match. It's probably the thing I'm most excited for on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, no doubt. Paul Heyman. He is trying to get AJ Styles to focus on Dominic Mysterio and the IC title rather than the Money in the Bank briefcase. AJ says, "You have known me long enough to know I do not respond well to threats." Well, we all know what some of AJ's rebuttals are when he is threatened. But
Oh.
he says he knows all about Seth's plan, but here's the thing. What's the saying? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And he walks away from Paul. So his attempt did not work. So that was that. Decent little segment, I guess, just, trying to, enforce, or Seth's group is trying to enforce, some sort of power upon the roster. So it's nice. Makes sense.
And it's one dynamic I do like about that group that they do have with Paul Heyman is they have Paul Heyman basically like try to offer people ways out of their path, and I like that they did it with Sammy. They kind of did it with AJ with like, hey, we focus on the IC title, let us do this, and we won't mess with you. I like how they do that. They do integrate the group well into like the overall Raw atmosphere.
Yeah. Rusev is in the back, saying how Sheamus left him high and dry all those years ago. And it played like videos from them in the League of Nations. He says Sheamus has a body of granite, but a neck of sand. And I have the one move that can make it all go away. Obviously, being the accolade. It then cuts to Sheamus in the back, talking to Tozawa, Maxine, and Natalia. Sheamus is in the back. They ask him about what he thought about what Rusev just said. He says, "Me and Rusev go way back. He was a groomsman at my wedding. But I am not going to sit back and watch him pick on guys half his size." He said, "Rusev, here's the thing. I bully bullies." And that was that. So, this match should be pretty good. This match should be pretty good, man. I just hope they don't pull any funny business with Sheamus. Because that one will really hurt me, for sure.
That would most definitely really hurt. I really hope not, man. And I'm excited to see this feud continue, man.
For sure.
I really hope it doesn't cap off at Saturday night's main event, because I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't either. I didn't even think of that. I did not even think of that, to be honest. We're getting a tag match with the Judgment Day and the War Raiders, with the New Day on commentary.
Dude.
Because they said both of these teams are in tag title contention. The fucking War Raiders just had a tag title match last week and lost.
Literally, dude, every week, if it's not a tag title match with the New Day, it's a contender match while New Day's on commentary. Every single week.
And Judgment Day's matches don't even have implications on the tag titles, bro. Judgment Day's matches have implications on group drama. Where is New Catch Republic?
Where are they, bro? You
Main
have
event.
them. Why are you not using them? Main event with Karrion Kross.
Fuck, man. What are we doing? These guys... Did you see that video of Austin Theory getting a huge reaction on Main Event?
Massive reaction. Him. Austin Theory, Karrion Kross, New Catch Republic.
Dude, did you see the video of Pete Dunne doing his sequence on, I think it was Grayson Waller, and he got done and the crowd popped huge for him? And we're not using these fucking guys, dude, and your tag division needs them? Yet we get rid of AOP. Nice.
Good job, guys. Smart move.
Let's get rid of more depth. Good God. You know, that's one thing that has been a topic of discussion in the basketball world lately. And I want to apply it to WWE here because there's been a lot of chatter about how the era of the big three, of having three big superstars and the rest of your team basically suck, doesn't work anymore. You have to have depth. I want to apply that to WWE. You can't just have superstars and no depth. You need depth because this is what happens. You get this fucking tag division that has no depth, and we see the same tag teams challenging for the same championships over and over and over again, and nobody cares to see it because everybody has won these championships 5 times over already.
Yeah, it's fucked, dude. It's completely fucked, and it's completely boring and repetitive and stale, dude.
Roxanne distracts Ivar. While the ref is caught up with Roxanne, JD grabs his beard and throws him onto the ring post. He falls down. Finn hits him with a coup de grace, and that was it. The Judgment Day are back in title contention.
Literally, dude.
Okay.
What is going to be the next version of the Judgment Day? Finn, JD, Roxanne, and Raquel. They lost Carlito. No Carlito tonight. So he's already gone.
Yep.
So what
He didn't
is
even
that
get a
faction?
write-off.
He didn't get a write-off. They literally just never mention him tonight, and they'll probably never mention him again.
Yep.
He took his PS5 and he went home.
He ripped
Dog.
that motherfucker out the wall and stomped out the arena.
He said, man, give me my shit back. And they fucking went, and he went on his way, man. And like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna continue the Judgment Day's existence, and it's Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Raquel, and Roxanne. What is that group? that is not a group. Just end it. Just end it.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
It's over. It's been over.
It's
been over since the start of the year.
I was gonna say, dude, they were doing like WWE people were doing an appearance on like some Netflix event, and Rhea Ripley even said she gets on the mic and says, "We all know the Judgment Day has not been the same since I left." And that is true. It has not been the same. And I'll even say this, and this says a lot coming from me. The group has not been the same since Damian and Rhea left the group. When they left, it was over. The Judgment Day will always be remembered to me as Finn, Dom, JD, Damian, and Rhea.
Exactly. That was where the group was at its most valuable.
Yep.
And you completely destroyed that. And the destruction of that was supposed to be the complete destruction of that, where everybody went on their way, but you kept the group in existence for no reason, dude. And look what happened. You could have ended it at the start of the goddamn year, and you're still going to continue it, probably into 2026. Good Lord.
Man, that is quite the decision there. But Stephanie is in the back. She is getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly. And Rhea Ripley walks up to her and they face off and the camera fades to black. This was great. This basically gave you a glimpse into WWE's future as to what they want to do for the main event scene. Whether it's SummerSlam, like you said, whether it's WrestleMania 42 in Vegas again, or Saudi Arabia, or wherever they choose to put it, this is WWE's idea for the next big feud on Monday Night Raw for the Women's Championship is Stephanie versus Rhea. So
most definitely.
So Lyra Valkyria. She comes out following a Becky Lynch promo video. She tells Becky Lynch to get out here and stop acting like a coward hiding behind your video packages backstage. Becky comes out. She goes to say something. Lyra tells her to shut up. She says, Becky, you made it to the top by being a good person. And then, when you made it to the top, you gave up on being a good person. She says all she needed to do was get angry. She says nobody hurt her like Becky has hurt her. And all you did was unlock a side of me that can destroy Becky Lynch. Becky tells Lyra her perspective is all wrong. She says, I don't think I hurt you more than anyone. I don't believe that to be true at all. I think you were looking for an excuse to hate me because you want to replace me, but you can't. Nobody can. She says, I never wanted to hurt you. All I wanted to do was make you better. And that's all. But, she says, but I do know what will hurt you the most. And that is when I beat you this Saturday, and you will have to raise my hand. Becky looked pretty timid, maybe like she's a little scared of Lyra Valkyria. She jumped out of the ring and started speed walking to the back. Lyra told her, let's give the fans a preview of Money in the Bank. Becky walked away, and Lyra chased her up the ramp, and they started to brawl. So that was that. Becky's doing a great job at getting Lyra over. She's definitely winning the championship, especially with the amount of just intimidation is coming off of Becky. This whole promo, she was like, she didn't even want to get in her face. She was like leaning on the ropes. She's like she's just being a scary ass, leaning on the ropes, and so I like it. I like it. It makes Lyra feel cool. Lyra has to get Lyra's got to get a little bit better with her intimidating promos. It was a little it felt a little bit forced. But she'll get better with time. I know she'll get better with time. And so I like I like the dynamic here, like I said, with Becky kind of being scared of her from the last time that they faced, but I think that perfectly writes out that Becky will be winning that IC title on Saturday. So get prepared for the Becky Hogan memes and everybody saying she's selfish and all this other shit. But yeah, and I think they'll do their blow off match at Evolution.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And I like what they did tonight. Lyra's great. Becky's great. I love the dynamic they have. And I really like what they've been doing. I definitely think Becky's going to win come Saturday. And then, obviously the blow-off match, like I said, Evolution. And I really like their dynamic. Lyra's been great. Becky's been great. And I'm very glad this has been an element of TV, man. Because it's been a really nice thing to see on TV every week, man.
Definitely. There was a tag team match with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Sami came out doing Jay's entrance. Jay gave him a pair of glasses, but instead of saying yeet, they said Sammy. It was kind of funny. So they both did Jay's entrance, and then we see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They had like a theme song mix, but then as they got down the ramp, then they just cut between each song. It's kind of weird. Like in the beginning, you can hear Bronson's song, but you could faintly hear the War Games sirens that are in the beginning of Breaker's song. And then it shifted into Breaker's song, and then once they got all the way down the ramp, it just cut back to Bronson Reed's song.
Yeah, it was a pretty shitty mix of the two songs. I don't know. I don't think Def Rebel understood what mixing a theme song is.
No, not at all.
It's not cut one into the other. It's mix them into one. But Def Rebel are not really skilled in the music genre. So I don't think they understood what the assignment of mixing a theme, man. But please stop mixing themes and give the faction a theme and an identity.
That was my next point. Yes, you have got to give them some sort of theme song, some sort of identity, something that they
Mhm.
can, go off of that is better than cutting between both of their respective theme songs. Um that was just, again, it started out with a little bit of promise. Like, you can hear Bronson Reed's song, but then, like I said, you can kind of like faintly hear the War Raid sirens. So I was like, oh, all right, are they gonna just kind of smoothly go into Bronze Song? And then they smoothly went into Bronze Song, and I was like, all right, that was like that. I mean, that was pretty amateur, but that was like a decent little fade job there. And then and then, like I said, they get down the ramp, and then legit just in the middle of Bronze Song, just cut right to Bronson Reed's song. I was like, all right, there we go. They did not use the fade tool that much longer. It might have been too much work for them. Is it
Yeah.
just me? Or
Uh,
did Bronson Reed get a lot skinnier?
Oh, he did, dude. He definitely did, dude. He looks like he's not as big as he used to be. He lost a lot, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked good. I was looking at
He
him and
looked
I was
good.
like, I'm like, am I crazy, or did he get a little slimmer than the last time we
He
seen
definitely
him?
did.
But he looks good. He looks good.
He really did.
So, um, let's see. So, Jey Uso hit a dive onto Braun, and while he was laying on the outside, Seth Rollins ran up the ramp and curb stomped Jey Uso to end the match via DQ. I will say this week, this was the best the group has ever looked in terms of like appearance. Everybody was wearing all black. I know last year
Mhm.
everybody was wearing all black, and then
Yeah.
Rollins was just in all white for some reason. Rollins had like a black trench coat on with, like, some black pants and some black boots, and then the other guys were in their all black singlets. So they looked good appearance wise. So I like that. Um so
Exactly. I like the consistency.
for sure. Now they just have to get an identity and a theme song, and they will be fine. Um They attack the baby faces as Seth and Braun lay Sammy on the announce table as Bronson Reed heads on the top rope to hit a fucking tsunami from the top rope to the announce table. And before he could, CM Punk comes in with a chair. Rollins' group retreats as Michael Cole refers to them as Seth Rollins and his new running buddies.
Stop.
He
Stop
loves
using
saying
the
that.
fucking phrase. Dude, he does. Please stop using the phrase "running buddies."
They're the running
What?
buddies, I guess.
Back in the day, Evolution. The faction of Ric Flair, Triple H. Batista, Orton. The running buddies.
Yeah,
You know, you know
Triple
how it
H
goes.
and his running buddies.
But look, God, dude,
Yep.
give them an identity. They
Yes.
they need one. If you have more than fucking two people, you need an identity as a
Yes.
group.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So that was that. This obviously wasn't the last we've seen of Rollins's group, or Rollins and the running buddies. Um, but even saying Rollins and company is it's not much, but it's better than the running buddies. His running
Oh,
buddies.
his running buddies. Good lord.
The Judgment Day. Oh man.
More Judgment Day drama.
Liv is in the back. She pulls Finn to the side. She says, "I can see what you're doing." He says, "Look, Liv, Roxanne is just here to help. I think you're just frustrated because things did not go your way last week or this week." He says, "She got us back on track to the tag team championships again."
Again.
He says
I don't
she
know. Okay.
he said he says she could even bring us back the women's world championship she could even bring the women's world championship back to the clubhouse if she wins the briefcase on Saturday. He's Liv says, "Oh, so you have this all planned out?" Finn says, "There is no plan." And I know she came off a little strong, but hey, you can trust Dom. Liv says Dominic isn't the one I don't trust. Finn says, "Well, trust will come with time. How about me and you make a plan? We can have Roxanne be in Raquel's corner tonight." Liv says, "Here's the plan. I am going to be in Roxanne's corner. You just keep Roxanne, or I am going to be in Raquel's corner. You just keep Roxanne out of our way. Since you wanted her around, you can be her babysitter." Finn walks up to Dom. They always act like they can't hear each other, even though they're like 3 feet away from each other. But okay.
Okay.
But Dom is wearing a "That's Not Cool" Carlito shirt, as Carlito is nowhere to be found. No write off, no send off, no thank you, no turn, no nothing. We couldn't
Well,
even get them kicking Carlito out of the group, yet me and you expect them to kick Finn Balor out of the group. We couldn't even get them
literally,
jumping
they-
Carlito.
Carlito has two weeks left of his contract that they're not renewing, and they couldn't write him off. They just literally just erased him from Judgment Day. Good lord.
Okay. He, he's wearing a "That's Not Cool" Carlito shirt, and he says, "Hey, is everything all right?" Finn says, "Yeah, everything's fine." Dom says, "Hey, man, I want to apologize about the interference last week with the chair, man. I really didn't mean to slide it. I didn't mean for it to be used against you like that." Finn says, "It's all good, man. Water under the bridge," and smacks the IC championship as Dom gives him a weird look. And in that moment, with the remorse you could hear on Dominic's voice, that is when it all clicked for me. The rumors are probably true. Dominic and Liv
Hmm.
Morgan are going to be the baby faces out of this, as WWE, for the fourth time or third time, get it wrong again on who to kick out of this group.
They they can't help it, dude. They really made Finn Balor the one that should have been out of the group first, the one to stay in it the longest. Good lord, they're literally just redoing what they did with Liv in the last version of Judgment Day with Roxanne.
Yep.
Um, and we're gonna just get another version of the Judgment Day that's gonna exist. They're gonna be happy for like 2 weeks, and then drama starts within, and then more bullshit.
Yep. That is exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, that's exactly like you said. They are going to do exactly. They are going to copy and paste how they got Liv Morgan into the group with getting Roxanne into the group. Wonderful,
Mhm.
wonderful.
Great.
Yet they're gonna turn Dominic babyface, somebody who I don't think should be turning babyface just yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna turn
Good luck writing babyface Dominic. Good luck.
him. I don't I'm starting to think WWE doesn't understand the concept that it's okay for a heel to get cheered.
They really don't, dude. If you get cheered, you have to love it, and you have to be an open baby face and,
Yep.
and all this.
Yep.
I don't understand.
So Kyrie Sane is facing Raquel Rodriguez. Liv goes to distract Kyrie. Io comes out for the save. They take care of Liv. Raquel then gets distracted with Io, and Kyrie hits an insane elbow, costing Raquel the victory. As again, this is just further pointing to Raquel switching sides and going with Roxanne rather than Liv Morgan, because Liv cannot help her win. I guarantee you, in the next coming weeks, Roxanne is going to help her pick up a victory. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's that. So wonderful.
What and what's exactly going to happen too? At some point, Raquel and Liv are going to lose the tag team titles. Finn Balor is going to get Raquel and Roxanne probably a tag team title shot,
Talk to
and they'll
Pierce.
probably win it.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, go talk to
I
Pierce.
gotta go
And
talk to
that's
Pierce.
exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
It's so
Yep.
predictable, dude.
Sami Zayn is in the back, getting iced. And who walks up to him? None other than the backstage Doomwalker himself, Karrion Kross. To
Doomed walk.
a huge pop, as always. Sammy says, dude, what is your problem with me? Why are you always hovering over me? Karrion Kross says, because I think you're a liar, Sammy. I think you lied to them. I think you lie to the people at home. And worst of all, I think you lie to yourself. He says, Sammy, you could have been a world champion 10 times over if you did what you had to do. Because I know you're capable of doing very horrible things to people. You are not a good guy. You're a bad guy. Just like the rest of us. Sammy gets in his face. He says, you're wrong. Kross says, you know what, Sammy? I might be wrong. But I might be right, too. With Karrion Kross being a sort of character that tends to predict the future, please let this be the one instance where he is wrong, which is also why this would have been perfect for him to win Money in the Bank, because Sammy could have shut him up and win the world championship as a good guy, but that's neither here or there. What do I know?
Come on.
I hope he doesn't end up being right, and I hope Sammy does prove him wrong here, story-wise, because again, Sammy should not be turning heel. Another great segment from Karrion Kross. Love the intensity. I don't know what this guy is missing. I truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, I do not know what he is missing for this company to use him. No idea. No idea.
No.
So, all good?
No, yeah. No idea. Oh, yeah. No idea what he's missing. Thought I heard something. No idea what he's missing, man. And I hope, and the vibe I get from this does make me think Sami Zayn will stay a babyface, and I feel like, in a way, this is WWE's way to spite Karrion Kross and make this the first time his character is wrong. Because, he got over. I guess they don't like that, even in this regime, that he got over. So I feel like, people always say, your character's right in doing this, and turns out you were right in predicting this. Well, this is the one time you're going to be wrong. And I got the vibe from that, to me, at least.
Okay. I would like that. I would like if, Sammy was the guy to beat the odds. Again, my thing here is when are we going to get this guy on television? When are we just when? When are we going to what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You can ask this question with so many things in WWE, but what are you waiting for, dude? Push the guy. I mean, my God, I don't know why they always have to sit around and make sure something isn't a fluke. Guess what? If we're in the middle of the run and you come to find out it's a fluke, just stop the push. And if not, then just use them. And guess what? You got a star.
Exactly. It's literally that simple, dude.
Don't fucking get it, man. I don't get it. So again, another week. This is like the 87th week in a row. He's on a backstage segment or on no segment at all, even though the fans want to see the fucking guy. Gunther. He walks up to Jay in the locker room. He says, Jay, I respect what you've done with the World Heavyweight Championship. I respect how much you care. And you know that championship is very personal to me. And I can see that you're trying. But the fact of the matter is, next week, I am going to take the championship from you. Because you just happen to think with your heart more than you do with your head. He gets up. Jay gets up, grabs his shoulder, swings him back around. He says 3 letters, 1 word, tap. There is no shot they have Gunther tap to this guy again. There's no way.
Dude, I want to know what Gunther did if he taps again, dude. What did this man do to y'all? I don't know what Kaiser did. I don't know what Gunther did. I don't know what
Oh,
Finn
yeah.
Balor did. Geyser's fucking gone. I guess he fucking wasn't fucking Charlotte's DMs or something because he's fucking gone. I don't know what any of these people did. If you have him tap again, oh my god.
He was
Because
one
I
of
know he's
those.
not gonna win the match.
Yeah, you already know. He was one of those guys as well that deleted all WWE references from his social media.
He did. He did. So
There,
that's scary, dude.
there's
There's no way.
way.
There's no way they're that dumb.
There. I mean, again, think about this. Like, put your TKO goggles on. What are the odds they get rid of this guy? Because, like, if you look at how he was as a world champion, TKO may look at that as he didn't really make us as much money as a John Cena or a Jey Uso or a Cody Rhodes did. So what good is this guy really? Again, it's just speculation. Just odd that he was on that list of people that deleted WWE mentions from his bio. There, you
It's concerning.
You will hear from me. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
You will fucking hear from me if they decided to pull some stupid shit like that. But if he does tap again, I sincerely ask again, who the hell did he piss off? Because
Who did he?
holy shit.
Oh man, it's so nerve wracking with that man because I know he's gonna lose. I know it, and if he taps out, then my god, man, he was literally their top guy for a while, and then I don't know. I like what you said. I wouldn't doubt it if TKO saw him or like, well, he's not very marketable, but you know, they really want him in the world title scene. I'm scared for that. I really am, dude.
Me too, because that's just that again, another guy that is a very WWE guy. He's done very good in WWE. It's been great. He's been great, and yeah, just that. I don't know. That's just fishy. That's just fishy to me.
It is. It's very fishy and it's very nerve wracking with all the other TKO happenings.
If they think their audience was upset with R-Truth being released, could you even fathom? Could you even fathom if they did something like Gunther?
Dude,
That
man, he's in that same boat as like Sheamus, dude. You can't do it again. You can't release more fan favorites. You literally can't.
Yeah, you can't. But that's the thing, dude. They
will.
just give me the vibe. They don't give a fuck. They're
They
too
don't care.
careless. They don't understand.
Oh, they don't understand the damage that they're doing to themselves
Yep.
in the future right now. They don't understand that. They're doing so much damage to themselves. And right now, you know, you hit the iceberg, but you know, you still have enough. It didn't scratch the hull enough to sink the boat.
Yeah.
Just wait. You keep doing that, and eventually that boat's going to fucking sink. And people are going to jump ship.
Yeah. Yep. So, the main event. El Grande Americano versus AJ Styles versus CM Punk. Match is pretty good, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk hits a GTS on Grande Americano. Goes for the victory, but gets pulled out of the ring by Braun Breaker. He starts getting attacked by Breaker and Reed. Jay and Sammy come out for the save. Jay and Sammy come out for the save. AJ goes to hit the phenomenal forearm on Grande Americano. Sammy pushes Bronson into AJ's legs and kind of chop blocked him a little bit. So AJ kind of falls to the ground. He then gets pissed. When he gets back up, he springboard dives onto everybody on the outside and gets back in the ring and eats a headbutt from Grande Americano to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So now your official field for the Money in the Bank men's match is Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Grande Americano, Seth Rollins, and Andrade. It's gonna be Seth, isn't it?
It's gonna be that. It's a 60. It's it's a 65 fucking 35. 35 being LA Knight and 65 being Seth Rollins. It's more than likely going to be Seth Rollins,
We
and he's
talked
probably going to lose it in that night.
We talked about this over the weekend, bro, with one of our guys. But what are the odds? Because again, we're hearing the story. Triple H doesn't like Money in the Bank. What are the odds he has Rollins win Money in the Bank? We get to the main event. He goes to cash in on one of the world champions, and the Avengers assemble, and we see Sammy and Punk come out, and Jay and Cody would already be in the ring, and Roman Reigns come out to cost Seth Rollins the briefcase. What are the odds? I wouldn't be either at this point. Especially after hearing that story that Triple H is not a fan of the concept, I would not be shocked at all if he copy and pastes what he does last year and applies it this year from Drew McIntyre to Seth Rollins.
I genuinely wouldn't doubt it. It's genuinely the most likely scenario is that I really think Seth is going to win it. He's going to attempt to cash in the same night, and it's going to fail. And they're just going to write it off for the rest of the year until they got to do it next year after SummerSlam.
Which is horrible because you have a guy like LA Knight who could be a fantastic briefcase holder. You even have, yes, it's Grande Americano, but it's Chad Gable. You got Chad Gable. Now, obviously, I wouldn't want him to cash in and win as Americano. I would want him to, cash in and win as Gable. And you have Solo. 3 guys that I think could be very serviceable Money in the Bank holders. Yet, for some ungodly reason, the most likely option here is Seth fucking Rollins.
And the reason he's the most likely option is to write it off probably that same night.
Yep.
And have him lose. Good Lord. You have something with Gable. You could maybe have him win, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then, denounce the El Grande Americano gimmick. And it was like, yeah, I had to do all this to get something like this. And now I have the opportunity to take in my own hands. You have LA Knight, who should have been it 3rd time as of now. And then you have Solo. And you're probably going to go with Seth just to write it off. Good Lord.
I mean, if you wanted to be even more unpredictable, you could even put the damn thing on Pentagon.
Yeah, Penta would be cool.
Or Andrade. I'd be down for any of these guys to win the world title, except for Seth.
I was gonna say it's literally just Seth I don't want. Andrade would be the jaw dropper. My mind would melt if they put that shit on Andrade. I never in a million years would I ever think.
Yeah, mine would melt too. I'd fuck with it, but I would absolutely be stunned.
Yeah. I'd be so excited, but I'd be like, holy shit, literally the person with like negative 300 odds fucking won. But literally anybody but Seth. And they're going to put it on Seth. Not because it would be one thing if, Triple H was, I don't know, scared of putting it on someone new or something, and he put it on someone safe to win the world title. No, he's putting it on him to literally just write it off and just kill it on television. Good Lord.
Putting it on somebody safe is the exact opposite of what Money in the Bank should stand for. You should want to put it on somebody who's a risk.
Because that's the point. If it's a risk and you put it on someone and maybe when as Mr. Money in the Bank, you realize, you know what, this person can't be world champion. They could lose. They could lose the
Yep.
cash in, and it is what it is.
Or they could
If
drop
you
the
really
briefcase
came
to
to that
somebody
conclusion.
else.
Exactly. It's a very simple solution. So just take the risk.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, bro. And that's the problem with Triple H and these men's winners is he always goes with the option that is just so safe. It's boring, you know?
It's boring and it's annoying. It gets to the point where, like, what is even the point of this? Just give that guy who was probably going to be able to get a title shot anyway a title shot.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, again, very serviceable options in this match. Probably just going to be Seth. I probably would not get my hopes
Probably.
up for anybody else. It almost seems like this whole Money in the Bank match is being built for Seth Rollins. All anybody could talk about as a threat in this match is Rollins.
It's Seth Rollins. Exactly. You got the LA Knight momentum of, he should have won this twice already.
Yeah.
That's the only other chance you have in that match. Other than that, it's literally all Seth.
But like even I'm talking about like on TV. Like when have you ever heard
Yeah.
anybody say, "Man, LA, when have you ever heard the other guys on SmackDown talking about how LA is a threat like Rollins is?" You don't hear it.
Oh, no.
All fucking week on Monday, you hear about Rollins can't win this. Rollins, when do you hear Solo can't win this? Or when do you hear anybody else talking about any other threat in this match on
No.
TV other than Rollins?
It's literally just Rollins.
It's just being built around him, and if it actually ends up being him, that will be one of the absolute lamest fucking winners you could possibly imagine.
Oh, yeah. Super fucking lame, dude.
And that's probably what they'll go with. So,
Oh,
wonderful.
100%.
So after the match, the heels, Rollins and what did he call him? Rollins and his running buddies, they attack
Running buddy.
Sammy J and CM Punk to end the night. And that was how Monday Night Raw ended. So, yeah.
Good lord. Very predictable, and I'm scared for the men's Money in the Bank.
Me too, man. Me too. Like I said, it just from what we hear on television, they are basically just telling you that Seth Rollins is the only threat in this match.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
We'll see. You will see. You guys will definitely hear from us Saturday. But with that being said, that is everything for the week of wrestling, man. That is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels podcast, man. That is going to do it for Notorious Unscripted, or hit the OG name, episode 250, bringing it back retro. That is going to do it for episode 250, 250 weeks of Unscripted. It's been awesome. Thank you guys for 250 weeks. It's been awesome. This show was a boatload of fun. A lot of great laughs. A lot of great rants. Great stuff, man. Love to see it. And yeah, that is gonna do it. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Like I said, on this edition of episode 250 of Unscripted. Do you want to say a few words about Unscripted for the 250 weeks we've been doing this thing, bro?
It's unreal, man. Truly unreal. 250 weeks. So much has changed in the business. So much. One show being good, then the other show's good. Now this show's good. Now it's crazy to think the evolution of what we watched. Talking in Unscripted, dude, and it's just crazy thinking about the quality of Unscripted throughout the years, man, and how great it is now, and it's truly crazy to think about the evolution.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely,
Fucking
man.
started with COD gameplay where we forgot to mute the video game audio.
Yep. COD gameplay and
Right.
then 2K20 gameplay.
Yeah,
That kept
and it would always
crashing, so
fucking
we had to
crash.
switch over to 2K19 because it wouldn't crash.
Literally.
Been a ride, bro. It's been a ride. So I'm excited for a lot more great memories on this show. And thank you guys for joining us along for the ride, man. Thank you guys as always. Thank you guys for everybody who popped up in the live chat. Logan, Gotti, Hunter, OG. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. And that is going to do it for this edition of Unscripted. This has been episode 250. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP. That is going to do it for NHP Unscripted. And that is going to do it for episode 250. Thank you guys so very much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all on Friday at 3 p.m. Central with the news and the Money in the Bank Los Angeles 2025 predictions.
Peace.